New tonight on KGW News, teenagers rescued from their car after they ended up in a flood.
Was in the right place at the right time with the right training.
Then leaders seem to agree Portland's drug deflection isn't working.
I certainly am not satisfied with what I'm seeing, and so it's time for some changes.
Now the DA says he plans to crack down. Plus,
I'm so grateful for them. Yes, they're literally my angels right now.
angels in the form of first responders helping find hope and a home for a veteran and his beloved pet.
He means everything to me. He's like a child.
And later,
we respected the dignity of air travel.
A call for a return to civility and better clothing? How a new federal campaign is landing with local passengers. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. With the holiday just over 24 hours away, the holiday rush is now on, with this year forecast to be the busiest Thanksgiving travel period in some 15 years. And while weather should be mostly tame for trips closer to home, we've already seen some trouble spots across the country. Severe weather in Atlanta and Houston meant passenger delays, with the ripple effects impacting at least 3,600 flights nationwide, though only about 10 were delayed arriving into PDX. Not too bad so far. Let's check in first tonight with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino, tracking conditions across the country and, of course, here in the Northwest. Matt?
Hey, David. Yeah, at this late hour, all the airports are in good shape. No major delays being reported at any of the hubs that you see on the map. Of course, back east, it's like 2 in the morning, so not a surprise. But weather will play a role in whether or not there are delays later on in the week. Now, as we go through the next couple of days, not bad. This is Friday morning. Storm dropping through the northern Rockies will drop a lot of snow there. That's one thing. But as that system goes into the middle part of the country, it'll grow and intensify. There'll be rain, thunderstorms, snow, and wind. That is likely to cause delays Saturday and Sunday from the middle part of the country back on over to the East Coast. If you're flying home at that time, be ready. There could be delays because of that. For us, we got a winter weather advisory in the Washington, not the Oregon, but the Washington Cascades, but only until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. But they may get as much as 8 to 10 inches of snow up around White Pass. But the temperatures are warming up, which is why we don't have any advisories or warnings in Oregon. They do in the northern Rockies. I'll show you the snowfall there in a bit. It's going to be quite heavy. For us, it's 32 at Timberline. It's gone up 4 degrees since like 5 o'clock this afternoon. So the temperatures are going the wrong way if you're a fan of snow. They're going the right way if you're driving over the passes and don't want to deal with it, because it's 37 at Government Camp. The roads are just wet. There's still snow in the air at Santiago Pass, but it's 36 degrees there, so not sticking, and no sticking snow. 36 degrees at Willamette Pass as well. So we're in good shape. The crazy looking turkey is happy with that. Rainy through Thursday. Cascade Pass is just wet. Minimal travel impacts throughout the Northwest, other than maybe some morning fog on Saturday and Sunday. And again, we'll look at those snowfall totals for the northern Rockies and the rest of our forecast in a bit, David.
Yeah, clear roads, not a bad thing. Sounds good. Thanks, Matt. Developing tonight, Multnomah County's top prosecutor says it's time to raise the stakes and the results for drug offenders in the county's deflection program. That's where for the past year, some folks have been able to choose a path toward treatment instead of jail. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom with the details. Alma?
David, Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez says he's not satisfied with the county's deflection program right now, saying there's both a lack of accountability and meaningful pathways forward, and it's time for serious change.
Right now, an individual that is, picked up, arrested on the streets, they're brought to our deflection center, they're dropped off, and essentially that ends it. That is the end of the court, police, any type of, that involvement.
And that, according to Multnomah County DA Nathan Vasquez, is just not good enough.
Individual is picked up for some of these small possession amounts. Certainly they'll still be brought to the deflection center, but we're going to demand accountability.
That means beginning January 5th, the DA's office will closely track these cases and may pursue charges against those caught in possession of hard drugs who fail to complete deflection.
Those reports will come to my office, and either they will have a citation to appear at a future court date, or if the other route would be that a warrant would be issued for their arrest. Those are the two options.
In the program's first year, county commissioners learned last week that law enforcement referred 520 people. That's fewer than 2 people per day. And of that, only 113 actually completed deflection. Some commissioners also voiced a need for change.
I'm concerned that this model fundamentally doesn't really work.
2 people a day can't, for the millions of dollars we spent, just can't.
We can't continue with that.
Multnomah County spent millions in state funding to open and operate its deflection center. Now, DA Vasquez says leaders ought to do more.
And the way I've always approached this is it's a bit of a push and a pull. Yes, we want to help push them to the right direction. We should also be there to pull them up as well.
Now, once someone's taken to the deflection center and completes an assessment, they then have 90 days to, quote, meaningfully engage in treatment. And if that's the case, then the DA will not file criminal charges. Worth noting, if someone already has an active warrant on their record, they are not eligible for deflection as things stand right now. David?
I suppose we could call it deflection 2.0. Thanks, Halma. Meanwhile, top prosecutors in Oregon today have sent a cease and desist letter to Homeland Security saying the agency needs to immediately stop using unlawful and excessive force. The letter came from Attorney General Dan Rayfield along with the DAs in Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas counties. It accuses federal agents of hitting protesters and Portland police officers with tear gas and less lethal munitions, as well as stopping or arresting teenagers through aggressive tactics, often during immigration enforcement. In response to a recent KGW investigation into federal officer conduct, a DHS spokesperson said in part, quote, ICE and CBP are trained to use the minimum amount of force necessary to resolve dangerous situations to prioritize the safety of the public and of themselves. Well, speaking of immigration policy, tonight in Newport, the mayor is revealing new details that may indicate an ICE detention facility widely opposed by the city and neighbors is still in the works. Take a listen.
We confirmed today that Team Housing Solutions has called multiple hotels up and down the coast as recently as this morning, looking for as many as 200 hotel rooms for a year.
That's the new detail. The mayor there referring to a government contractor. This comes after the mayor also reported a Coast Guard rescue helicopter that was moved to North Bend last month, some 70 miles south, has now landed back in the city, though he wasn't sure if it's there to stay. The state and Lincoln County sued to bring it back, and a federal judge issued a temporary order on Monday. We reached out to Homeland Security both about the chopper and potential plans for any kind of facility. Of course, we'll update you if we hear back. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, the Olympic pipeline has partially restarted after crews found the source of the leak near Everett, Washington. That is good news for Thanksgiving travelers. The pipeline carries gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel to the city of Seattle and Portland airports. BP, the company that operates the line, says the leak was in the gas line, allowing them to bring the jet fuel line back into service. Delta, Alaska, and American Airlines have ended fuel stops and have returned to normal operations out of SEA. AAA also tells us it does not expect to see a spike in gas prices. Oregon and Washington both issued emergency orders to get fuel where it is needed and quickly. Portland police are looking for the person responsible for a drive-by shooting in southeast Portland this afternoon. Authorities say one person was hit while standing on the sidewalk near 165th and Division. While the victim's injuries are serious, authorities say they should survive. Police say an out-of-service TriMet bus was also hit. The driver was the only one on board and was not hurt. And the Portland Thorns appear to have fired their head coach, and after just one full season, Rob Gale had been with the team since 2023 and took over as head coach last year, leading the Thorns to back-to-back playoff appearances. First assistant coach Adam Day is also out. Assistant coach Sarah Loden will take over in the interim. New at 11, a Portland man is leaving town tomorrow for what you might call a fresh start. You see, after more than a decade in the Rose City, his life essentially imploded, though a chance encounter this week changed everything all over again. Catherine Cook and photographer Aiden Brown show us how.
In life, we're always looking for signs, wondering if we can trust them.
We do see people holding signs every day.
And how best to respond.
Let's see if we can help this guy.
For this team from Portland Fire's Community Health Assess and Treat program, the answer felt obvious Wednesday as they drove through the Lloyd district. That's where Jethro Warnke and Aaron Botteron saw this sign.
He said that he was a veteran and that he was trying to get home.
In the hands of Tony James.
I was trying to get dog food and gas for the car, and they stopped, rolled down their window, and asked me, what was my situation.
We just don't know why people are in the situation that they're in.
Why, for example, was Tony homeless? Why did he need help?
Come here.
Why,
Come here.
what?
Well, that doesn't, wait a minute. And then we realized it was a pig. And that was a whole different situation.
A 250-pound situation named Roscoe.
He doesn't even know he's a pig. He thinks he's a dog, if anything, because yeah.
Tony has a dog, too. That's Elvis. 2 pets, 1 daily reminder.
It's the last thing that I have of my significant other. So he means everything to me. He's like a child.
In August, Tony's girlfriend of 13 years died of a heart attack. Just a month before that, the couple and their pets moved into this car after a string of tough breaks.
I had complications to surgery, basically, and I wasn't able to pay my rent, and I lost my house.
Too much pain and too many words to write on a piece of cardboard.
I spoke out and I told my story to some people that were willing to listen to me, and they were the only people that even opened an ear to hear me, and I'm so thankful for it.
Making that human connection with somebody, is, his situation may seem challenging, but we're able to help.
Jethro and Aaron thought of Portland's reunification program, which connects people living on the streets with loved ones. They called Tony's father in Chicago.
And his dad was on board to have him come home.
Put myself back together, just start grieve and put myself together.
Another team member called Lighthouse Farm Sanctuary in Scio. They agreed to take Roscoe right away.
There's gonna be a lot of tears. I just hope he doesn't, he's like my child. I got tonight to spend with him.
Tony is just an incredible human being.
A sign that you never really know someone's story.
Don't be judgmental.
Or how it will end.
I'm so grateful.
In Northeast Portland.
Literally, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
KGW News.